products and what I believe to be their better alternatives. Caudaly's Instant Detox Mask. I think people think I really hate this product. I don't. I think it's a great clay mask, but there's a lot of emphasis on the pore shrinking aspect of it. And all you're really getting in here that's pore shrinking is the bentonite and kaolin clay, which you can get in any face mask. My alternative would be Glow Recipes clay mask, this one, the watermelon one, because if you are looking for a clay mask to clear all the gunk out of your pores, this has BHA and PHA in, alongside hyaluronic acid infused clay, so not only do you get that instant satisfaction of clearer, smaller looking pores, but the more you use this as your exfoliating step, clearer your pores are actually going to be. Anua's Heartleaf Toner, which is nice. I shared that for a soothing toner. I found this actually stung a lot, and a lot of people agreed with me and had the same issue. I feel like Anua is a brand that people who are just getting into K-beauty really enjoy, and it's a really good brand. I like a lot of their products, but my alternative for this would be Perito's Wonder Relief Centella Toner. This has Centella asiatica extract, metacasicide, panthenol, allantoin, and then something I can't pronounce, but all making this a really nice, hydrating, soothing toner. No stinging whatsoever, and I also prefer the texture of this. It's slightly thicker than the Anua one, so it doesn't drip all down your arms, it goes straight on your face, and your skin just gets this instant dose of hydration. It feels quenched. Anything from CeraVe, I get they're popular for a reason. I just do not enjoy the experience of using their products. Whenever I use their products, I feel like I've been prescribed the product almost like it's an ointment for some kind of rash I have. You can have really good, effective products that work and do their job, but in really nice, elegant formulations that are nice to use. My alternative would be anything from Astura and Iliune. Korean skincare has this approach to ceramides and healing the skin barrier that feels way more hydrating and less suffocating than what we have with CeraVe, for example. Lightweight yet effective ceramide products. Astura's Atto Barrier line is perfect for those damaged skin barriers, and Astura have a whole range of products for different skincare concerns. I would say they're Korea's CeraVe, they're used in hospitals, and I group Iliune and CeraVe together because I'm pretty sure most of their products are the same thing. Rhodes lip tints. The Rhode lip tints are great. They're always sold out, so you can never get them. There's something about the new batch as well that we've all discovered. They get a little bit grainy, but I also find that I'm having to apply them more and more. My lips feel like they're drying out quicker. My alternative for this would be the MUA Makeup Academy Hydrojuice Peptide Lip Balms. They also have peptides in. This particular one in this product is going to give you that kind of like nice plumped out look, and potentially could possibly help stimulate collagen production. It also just feels more hydrating. There's something about the Rhode ones that feel very surface level. My lips just feel a lot smoother with their MUA Academy one. Skincare brands I think you're missing out on because TikTok only reviews what is viral. Make is a skincare and makeup brand from the absolute geniuses over at the center, who launched brands like Naturium, Prequel, Soltaire, Fleur, and they already have a cult following, but I feel like they deserve more attention. In their own words, with Make Beauty, you're going to see a lot of products formulated with sustainable botanical materials, lab-engineered natural ingredients, along with skin-compatible synthetics that go way beyond the concept of just being clean. A standout product for me and one of my favorite moisturizers of all time is their Succulent Skin Gel Cream. A moisturizer that is honestly amazing for all skin types, with aloe vera, niacinamide, glycerin, prickly pear, and an antioxidant that kind of mimics cloudberry. Sable Labs is a celebrity skincare line with integrity. It's Sabrina and Idris Elba's brand. Sable backwards spells Elba's. And I have to say, in a time where celebrity skincare brands were popping up everywhere every 2 seconds, it felt like, I didn't really notice Sable Labs much until I got the opportunity to interview the Elbas, and whilst doing my research, I kind of fell in love with this brand. They say that they created a skincare line focusing on melanated skin, but really can be used by everyone, and they really take a gentler approach to combating hyperpigmentation with what the brand call African botanicals. The Elbas are known outside of this brand for their humanitarian work, but they bring that into their own brand, working with Farm Africa to make sure that they are directly supporting the small farmers who farm all their ingredients. A favorite product of mine is their Black Seed Toner, a super gentle exfoliant with AHAs, vitamin C, black seed extract, and ferulic acid. If you've got easily sensitized skin, rosacea, acne, this is such a gentle product but with really clear results. Just out of curiosity, I need to know if you know this because I just saw a video in the comments confuse me a little bit, but I don't think it's actually general knowledge. So this is the Inky List. This is an Inky List. Did everyone know that? Skincare tips I had to unlearn in order to get better skin. And one thing I had to unlearn very, very quickly as somebody with rosacea and easily sensitized skin, that a higher percentage active doesn't make the product better. Low and slow is my philosophy now for actives. I think niacinamide is a great example of this. It's an active that's been proven to work really, really well between 2 and 5%. That might be wrong, but basically you don't need to really go any higher than 5%. But we're seeing brands again pushing out these like 70% and 50% niacinamide. You just don't need it. On that note, there are a lot of must-have ingredients that my skin mustn't have. The kind of gold standards, right? You have vitamin C and you have retinol and even AHAs. They're all ingredients that people are like, you must have. For years, I tried to make these ingredients work. I was just like, yeah, it's fine. My skin's just purging. It was purging for like a year. I can always find alternatives to these products. Also, sometimes skincare just works. And I know this sounds really silly. We've seen so many rules, do's and do nots, and you're using this product wrong, etc, etc, etc. What I found is that like the more experts who have come online, the more we question the most simple things. I think one of the most recent examples is a dermatologist saying that you can't use AHA on wet skin, or even if your skin's a little bit damp, you're wasting your money using the Ordinary's AHA. So then cosmetic chemists have had to come on and say, no, you're fine, this product works absolutely fine. I think this is a great example of experts and science trying to overcomplicate things that are just very, very simple. I would say 99.9% of the time, your products work. They do the job they're supposed to. But just use your product as directed and you'll be fine. Read the instructions. Brands aren't putting out products that don't work or cause you harm. They want to make money from you. So they're going to want you to return as a customer. popular skincare brands and their best and worst product in my opinion. Let's start off with a favourite brand of mine, Glow Recipe. The best product for me has to be their Watermelon Glow BHA PHA Pore Tight Toner. It's very gentle exfoliation with a load of hydration that just gives my rosacea prone skin this like immediate glow, hydration that you can actually feel, and it targets all the skincare concerns that I would usually have to use stronger chemical exfoliants for, but does that effectively with gentle exfoliants, low and slow, I always say. Worst is hard because I love Glow Recipe, but for me, it has to be their Blueberry Bounce Cleanser, this one. It is gentle, but used on the wrong skin type or even at the wrong time of year for your skin, this can be extremely drying, and if it gets in your eye, you're fucked. It hurts. It really, really hurts. CosRX are viral on here for all their snail mucin products, but honestly, they're not even the best or worst products that CosRX have to offer. Their best and severely underappreciated is their Galactomyces 95 Essence. This has all the fermented power of the 100-pound SK2 essence, but for around £15 with niacinamide, it's super effective. Skin brightening, soothing, healing, plumping, helps target fine lines and wrinkles. It's an essence in the most traditional sense, and it's perfect for prepping your skin for the rest of your skincare routine. The worst has to be their AC drying lotion. Any drying lotion from any brand is the worst product for me. We don't dry out spots anymore. It's not the 90s. My skin is extremely prone to post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. These drying lotions are the worst for that. Anua has really gained popularity on TikTok and Instagram. Honestly, I'm quite enjoying their products, but surprisingly, after not really enjoying the scent of their peach niacinamide serum, my current favourite product of theirs is their peach 77% enriched cream. It's got ceramides, niacinamide, panthenol, collagen. Collagen isn't useless, it can moisturise, but it leaves you dewy and like peachy looking, and the fragrance isn't actually that strong. It doesn't linger around like it does in the serum. I know people love this, but I cannot stand the Heartleaf 77% toner, whatever it's called. It's a soothing toner that stung my face like crazy. It's also too watery. When I use it, I lose half the product down my arms. I see why people like this, but for a product for irritated skin, it shouldn't irritate my irritated skin. Caudalie. This brand goes viral once every 6 months. It's constant on here. Their resveratrol lift eye cream is incredible. I tried it after seeing Selena Gomez use it on some skincare routine video and absolutely loved it. After a solid month of non-stop use twice a day, there was some definite tightening under the eyes. There was just a firmness all here, and then I got Botox. The puff, it helps hydrate under the eyes, so not only do you get this instant under eye glow from the product that makes you look more awake and more vibrant, but in the long run, your under eyes just look fresher. The worst product, I can't believe this got popular in any way, is their Elixir. It's like a polite pepper spray. It's like a mist version of Vicks Vapor Rub. It's horrific. I don't know why people voluntarily spray it on their face. The thing with Caudalie is they're very much about leaving out certain ingredients. They're very much a no nasty kind of brand. But not only do they leave out ingredients that scientifically actually aren't bad for you, like parabens for example, but they then go ahead and put in some of the most notorious irritants into one bottle. Bitter orange, peppermint oil, mint leaf oil, linalool, limonene, citrol. Some people's skin can definitely handle this and will be absolutely fine, but if you have rosacea, easily sensitized skin, compromised skin, acne, I wouldn't dare put this on my skin. Reviewing skincare for 10 years, and toner is my favourite step of the skincare routine, so I thought it'd be fun to do this. This is already annoying me. This is actually an exfoliant, not a toner, and I do feel there needs to be a clear difference. Otherwise, people end up using chemical exfoliants twice a day, so I'm going to put that as 10. Beauty of Joseon. This is really, really nice, really soothing, really calming, super hydrating. Not as hydrating as a lot of other toners I saw flash up, but I'm going to put this as like a solid 5. No idea what this is, number 9. Glow Recipe. So this is one of those ones that kind of like is technically an exfoliant, but it merges the Korean kind of idea of chemical exfoliants, which is super hydrating with gentle exfoliation. As the exfoliants are so gentle, I'm gonna let this one slide. This is by far one of my favorite products of all time in general, but as a toner, I'm gonna put it as 2 just to play fair. Foolish choice. Again, this is a chemical exfoliant. This isn't a toner, a toner is a hydrating product that sometimes nowadays has actives in. I'm gonna put this as A. It's a great product, but it's not a toner, it's an exfoliant. Anua, I hate this one. This is not going well. This irritated my skin. For a toner that's meant to be soothing and to use on irritated skin, it shouldn't irritate my skin. So that's going as number 7 because at least it's a toner. Thayers, this is actually surprisingly really nice. Thayers is one of those brands that I thought would be absolutely shit, but turns out being really nice. This is really nice and milky. My only issue is it does kind of foam up a bit when you use it. I'm gonna put it as 4 because it's a good solid toner. This is a chemical exfoliant, not a toner. I'm just gonna have to start list at number 6, I guess. It shouldn't even be on the list. Aquel, this is an amazing one. Again, super hydrating. I believe Aquel all about the licorice, which is a great skin brightener. You know what, this is gonna go number 3, and I just hope that number 1 isn't a chemical exfoliant. It's a chemical exfoliant. Sun By Me, probably one of the first K-beauty brands to use a lot of chemical exfoliants in one kind of product. Again, this is a chemical exfoliant. You can call them exfoliating toners, but this is not a toner in the traditional sense. Can you tell I'm passionate about it? There's dog hair. This whole list is fucked. I'm gonna have to put it as number 1. 4 amazing K-beauty brands you've probably never heard of before. Lagom are a brand who like to think they represent the beauty of balance. Their products balance out your skin, basically. Their products are extremely simple yet effective, but not in a CeraVe type of way, more in like a modern art kind of way. One of their standout products for me is their Cell Up Water to Gel Cleanser. It's a super gentle, watery yet moisturizing cleanser that's perfect for a morning cleanse. It cleanses without stripping the moisture lipid barrier and leaves your skin feeling untouched. Beplain are a brand who wants to make skincare enjoyable without the negative side effects on the environment. They prioritize not just sustainable packaging, but sustainable harvesting of all their ingredients. This brand is interesting because they have this exclusive relationship with Hwahae. It's basically Korea's #1 kind of like beauty review app. They do yearly awards, and the app really does show you what people in Korea are actually loving and buying. The app has over 10 million active users, and Beplain have access to all this feedback, everybody's skincare concerns. So it puts Beplain ahead of the curve when it comes to understanding what consumers want and the up and coming trends in skincare. If you want a serum that's soothing and calming and that you can use like twice a day, just to keep your skin in check and keep it happy and healthy, their Cicaterol Ampoule is a great option. Manyo, I think it's pronounced. They're cute. Their whole thing is like, we're wizards of the skincare world and we're making you potions. It's all very cute, but don't let that fool you. Their products are very effective, mostly affordable. They do kind of lean towards the more natural and botanical side of things, which I usually really dislike. I love their Panthertoin Essence Toner. It's got a load of soothing, hydrating, and barrier repair ingredients in it, all in this lightweight, milky essence. If you want a brand that is dedicated to repairing, restoring, strengthening your skin barrier, then you might want to check out Real Barrier. Their whole range is basically a combination of essential fatty acids, ceramides, cholesterol, alongside essential hydrating ingredients and soothing ingredients like Cica. If you're a fan of CeraVe, Astura, Iliune, I think you will love this brand. Their Real Barrier Extreme Cream is an award winner. Of course, improving barrier function, barrier strength, in turn improving hydration. It has some kind of patented ingredient called MLE. Could not find what that was about, alongside ceramides, which they claim helps the ceramides and other essential ingredients for your skin barrier penetrate quicker for faster healing and deeper moisturization. The most underrated skincare ingredient of all time and how you can get it at all different price points. Galactomyces ferment filtrate was supposedly discovered by the founders of SK2. After they saw the hands of workers at a sake brewery, they saw how young their hands look, how plump they look, how the hands didn't quite match the face as far as age goes. They put 2 and 2 together and thought it must be the fermented yeast that's used in the sake brewing process, this leading to the discovery of Galactomyces. And it's found in all very traditional Korean and Japanese essences. So not only does it work like a toner, hydrating the skin, prepping your skin for the rest of your skincare routine, but it's also a prebiotic, it's an antioxidant, it can help even out skin tone, retain hydration, plump out your skin, repair a damaged skin barrier, soothe your skin, brighten an even skin tone, firm up your skin, all leading to younger looking skin. And these essences really can be like a one and done kind of step in between cleansing and your moisturizer. As I mentioned, SK2 were supposedly the founders of Galactomyces ferment filtrate, and they bottled it for £100. It's a bit steep, but this product is very nice, like very, very nice. If you can afford it, get this one, it's great, but for £44, you can get the Giving Essence from Then I Met You, all the benefits of Galactomyces Ferment Filtrate, but this one kind of makes my skin feel a lot more hydrated than the SK2, probably because of the added polyglutamic acid and the red algae. But for even cheaper at £24, you can get Numb Buzzing, number 3 Skin Softening Serum. Rather than traditional essence, this is like a slightly thicker serum with the added benefits of goat milk and squalane, so nicely hydrating without being too thick. Lastly, CosRx's Galactomyces 95 Tone Balancing Essence. I find this between £10 and £15 depending where you look. With 95% galactomyces, it's a very minimal ingredient list. Niacinamide, panthenol, sodium hyaluronate, so it really does just get the job done. Glycerin as well. Super hydrating, soothing, and honestly, out of the whole 4, this is probably my favourite. Skincare products that I repurchase over and over and over. Everyone's always shocked by how much I love Glow Recipe. I think people presume that just because something is in nice, fun, fancy packaging, the product can't be effective. Glow Recipe's Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner is one of my favourite products of all time. Somebody with mild rosacea and easy sensitized skin, gentle exfoliants like this just work incredibly on my skin. The BHA in here is actually betaine salicylate, making this a really good starter exfoliant for those who are new to exfoliation, but also those who want to exfoliate low and slow. Prequel's Barrier Therapy Skin Protectant Cream is huge. It's massive and it takes me forever to get through these, but we have 1% colloidal oatmeal, allantoin, multiceramides, and adenosine. Super soothing, healing, calming. Out of all the barrier repair moisturizers I've used, this has to be the most soothing and calming when it comes to itching and irritation. Belief, the True Cream Aqua Bomb, is one I was actually using, recommended to me by an esthetician when my skin barrier was fucked. I looked at the ingredients and I was like, there's a lot of things I don't really like in here. There's a fair few essential oils which my skin doesn't usually like, but for some reason my skin loves this. When my skin is really irritated and I don't want to use something thick in the morning, I want a nice glowy dewy look, this is the one I reach for, surprisingly. We do have ceramides and cholesterol in here, so relatively good for a skin barrier. Glow Recipe's Pomegranate Peptide Firming Serum. This is my 5th bottle of this. So this has copper tripeptide 1 and hydrazine peptide 1, polypeptide 1, along with hyaluronic acid to hydrate and pomegranate, which is an antioxidant. So you get this like plumping, firming, hydrated skin. A lot of people see peptides as a purely anti-aging ingredient, but really I see this as a firming, plumping serum. And this is a weird one, but this is something I've used since I was like 20. This is Pitrox Crystal Natural Spray On Deodorant. I don't like natural deodorants. I think like you need aluminium so you don't stink. Sweating isn't usually an issue for me. I just don't want to smell. My armpits are very sensitive, and this is one of the only deodorants that doesn't sting my armpits. It uses mineral salts to basically combat the smell of BO. It's got aloe vera in here as well, which is like a little moisturizing touch. It's got grapefruit for some fucking reason as well. I could do without that. But yeah, very good for sensitive armpits. If sweating isn't a problem, but you want to combat your smell, this is a good one. I spray this on my feet as well.
My top 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on? What's happening right now?
These are my skincare opinions that piss everyone off. Whenever I talk about them in my YouTube videos, the comments are usually angry. Packaging is a huge part of what makes a product good. Effective? No. But we are consumers. We are being sold an experience. And I want my skincare to look good. I want it sat in my bathroom or by my vanity looking nice, and I want it to be effective. And it's 2024, we can have both. People always like, I don't care about that, I just want my skincare to work. It can do. And it can look nice too. It's not one or the other. And for everyday consumer items, there's no reason something can't look nice and professional at the same time without looking shit. Doing your skincare on the plane is gross and useless. Cover your face in a heavy, slugging or occlusive ointment before you get on the plane and leave it at that. Do not touch your skin once you are on that plane. The war on fragrance in skincare is boring and almost anti-science. Saying everybody needs to avoid fragrance in skincare is like saying everybody needs to avoid gluten in food because my dad's a celiac. The two main arguments is that fragrance holds no purpose in skincare. Technically, I guess that's true, but I would argue it does have a purpose. It has a purpose of aromatherapy. Fragrance is an ingredient that brands put into their products because it keeps the consumer using their product. When your moisturizer, for example, has a nice smell, you are more likely to use that moisturizer again and again and then repurchase it. The other main argument is that you can develop an allergy to fragrance. Of course you can. You can develop an allergy to almost everything, but you will not develop a fragrance allergy purely because you use it in skincare. You will know when you need to stop using fragrance, if that day ever comes. And yes, of course, there is a market for fragrance-free skincare, and we have it. There's a ton of products out there, and that's great. TikTok is a solid 5 years behind when it comes to skincare, makeup, and beauty trends in general. And by that, I mean TikTok is just discovering beauty trends that were popular on YouTube about 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, some 6 years ago, to the point where I'm actually going back through my catalogue of old YouTube videos and thinking, what can I talk about that TikTok doesn't already know? I'm always shocked by the amount of viral products on here that are well known amongst YouTubers or have been viral multiple times on YouTube by the time it's reached TikTok. The more time I spend on this app as well, I'm actually also shocked by the amount of myths and misinformation that I thought was squashed like years ago. But things like rubbing banana peel on your skin, the comedogenic rating, using words like non-toxic, chemical-free. I do think these never-ending trends is simply because creators want to be the face behind that next big viral product. They want to say, I sold out this product, you know. So they're just trying to find any positive point of any product to try and make it go viral. Here are some budget-friendly alternatives to some viral skincare products. All those tinted, coloured lip balms that we're seeing, Rhode, Tower 28, literally every other single brand who have all those same 4 shades. MUA Academy's lip balms are the dupe for these. Not only are they a more affordable alternative, but they are still better products in my opinion. They have the usual things you'd expect to see in a lip balm, alongside peptides and collagen, so you get this nice hydrated, plump feeling to your lips that actually lasts. But I find that MUA Academy ones are almost lighter weight, they feel more hydrating, and they last longer on the lip as well, so I'm not reaching for one every hour or so. Tower 28's and Prequel's hypochlorous acid sprays, an amazing product and ingredient in general for breakouts, rosacea, irritated, itchy skin. To oversimplify it, it's like an anti-bac for your face. These versions have gone viral, but you can get cheaper alternatives, and if you're in the UK, you can't actually get Prequel or Tower 28's products, so here's an option for you. Go to Amazon or even Pets at Home, bear with me, and search for a brand called Lucilin, which is purely hypochlorous acid and has the exact same ingredients in as the Tower 28 spray. For around £10, you can get double the amount you get in the Tower 28 spray, and for about £2 more, you can get 500 millilitres worth of hypochlorous acid. I discovered this doing a doggy first aid course, and I've been using this on my skin alongside Prequels. I will say though, compared to Prequel, the delivery system on this Lucilin, whatever it's called, spray nozzle isn't made to be sprayed on the face, so it doesn't feel as nice. You don't get like that nice mist that Prequel gives you. It all ends up in your face. The Rhode glazing milk isn't too hard to find an affordable dupe for because milky toners are nothing new in the skincare world, especially when it comes to K-beauty. Bioma's milky toner is a really affordable dupe, I guess you could say, of this product. It's milky, but it's got polyglutamic acid in to help hydrate, and then we also have Cica in here to help soothe, and Bioma's signature barrier lipid complex, which is ceramide and skin identical lipids to help restore that skin barrier. It's nice and light as well compared to Rhode's version, so it's a really nice summer or warmer weather kind of toner, and if you like to layer up your skincare like me, the Bioma one sits a little bit more comfortably on the skin. There is one tiny difference about this sheet mask that makes it so much better than any other I've ever tried. I'm whispering because my dogs are in bed and they deserve a good rest. Sheet masks are essentially your serum stage, and one thing I hate about some sheet masks is that you cannot get a good amount of serum onto the sheet mask and onto your face. I either feel like they're dripping in too much serum or they're like a little bit dry. But there's something about this Manyo Panthertoin Deep Moisture Mask sheet mask that is so clever. So you have your normal opening at the top, and then on the back you have this little cutout section here. So when you cut that little nib off, it becomes like a serum. So you can squeeze out Loads of excess essency serum. Get all that gubbins at the bottom of the pack. And you can use this as a serum before you put on the mask. Then this mask is covered in just the right amount of product. So now I've got all that excess serum on my face underneath the mask. I'm not wasting a single bit of product or a single penny that was spent on these sheet masks. I think that's genius. Is it new? Maybe it's not new. Here are some sunscreens that don't irritate my skin or burn the shit out of my eyes. Probably my favourite sunscreen of all time is the Undefined Beauty R&R Sun Serum. This is a fully mineral tinted sunscreen. It's available in 3 shades now, but lucky enough for me, I tend to just perfectly match this shade here. It's got trumella mushroom in it, which is very hydrating, and niacinamide. It gives you a very, very natural looking glow. Sometimes I'll be wearing it and people ask if I'm wearing makeup, but it's not like heavy coverage. I've been using this solidly for about 2 years now. Absolutely love it, never gonna stop using it. The Round Lab Birch Juice Sunscreen SPF 50 plus PA4 pluses is also amazing. It just feels like a very light to mid-weight moisturizer, super hydrating birch juice, and it's light enough to keep reapplying and reapplying throughout the day without feeling like you're just piling on heavy, greasy sunscreen. The Haru Haru Black Rice Airy Fit Daily Sunscreen SPF 50 plus PA4 pluses, again, is a really nice lightweight sunscreen. Kind of has like a not completely matte finish, but a more natural skin look finish to it. It's got ceramides, it's soothing, it's healing, it's got heart leaf in it, and black rice as an antioxidant. As far as reapplication goes, I love the Tokobo Cotton Soft Sunstick. Again, SPF 50 plus PA4 pluses. Another matte finish sunscreen, which I don't usually like. I do love a dewy glow, but what I love about this, if you are oily skinned, if you get an oily T-zone like me, or just the constant reapplication of sunscreen is making your skin look a little bit oily rather than dewy, this sunstick has like this mattifying powder in that when you glide over the top, brings your skin back down to, again, a natural looking skin glow. Not overly dewy, not overly matte, very natural looking. One that I don't love, but my skin actually really likes, in the sense that I don't like how this looks on my skin. My rosacea prone and easily sensitized skin is not bothered by this. It's ultraviolet something fluid, this one. Ultraviolet sunscreens, I either love them or hate them, but this one kind of falls somewhere in the middle in the sense that it works, like it's a good moisturizer. It's a little bit on the greasier side than I would like, but it doesn't irritate my eyes, it doesn't irritate my skin. I am physically able to use it without any irritation, so whilst I may not enjoy it too much, you might like it.
If you like this, then you should try this. If you like this, you would love this. If you like this, you're gonna need this. If you like this, you'll love this.
Viral skincare products, and what are, in my opinion, their better alternatives. Everybody loves the Laneige lip mask, and I agree, they are good. My personal favourite is the gummy bear one, purely because it's what I like to call American grape. It's like a flavour we don't have here in the UK, but I don't feel like they're the best overnight lip masks. I think they're essentially just very basic, and the highlight is that they come in different flavours. For me, especially the berry flavour, like the original, is kind of drying more than anything. For a little extra cost, you can get the Tatcha Kissu lip mask or lip balm, which does everything that the Laneige lip masks do, but in this more cushiony, more hydrating, almost more occlusive feeling lip product. It also has more skincare benefits. It's got squalane, it's got peptides, and antioxidants like the Laneige one. The only issue, I guess, here is that it doesn't come in different scents or different flavors, but I'd rather have nicer lips overnight than like a mango lip mask, you know? Cosrx Advanced Snail Mucin Essence is a cult favorite. It's one of my favorite skincare products, and it went viral last year for 2 reasons. 1, it's a good product. 2, they launched a really good influencer campaign where they were showing like the benefits and the texture of this product. Snail secretion has been shown to have some healing properties. It's obviously hydrating. A lot of people think it can help with hyperpigmentation when it can't. I don't know where that came from. So essentially it is just a nice hydrating essence. There does seem to be a sudden rise in people breaking out from this product. A lot of people having allergic reactions to this product, and a lot of people are actually unsure whether this product is actually cruelty-free when it comes to snail mucin. I'd love to know what you think about this in the comments. So as an alternative, I would go for Mixsoon's Glacier Water Hyaluronic Acid Serum. It's a really good hydrating snail mucin free alternative. It's essentially water and hyaluronic acid, butylene glycol I think as well, but in this nice serum-y toner texture, like a little bit thicker than water. And just like the snail essence, it gives you this plump, dewy, well hydrated skin that you can feel all day, and your skin looks dewy and hydrated and plump all day too. Paula's Choice Azelaic Acid Booster 10%. This was one of my favourite products back in the day when I first started to develop mild rosacea. And it's a great product for rosacea, breakouts, uneven skin tone, dull looking skin. This one combines azelaic acid and salicylic acid, which is great. However, I did find the addition of salicylic acid to eventually be a little bit too much for my skin, and eventually I just wanted their azelaic acid alongside those soothing ingredients. Peach Slices is the sister brand of Peach and Lily, and they do this like anti-redness azelaic acid serum, which also has 10% azelaic acid alongside algae extract, centella and panthenol, so I'm getting those soothing, hydrating, healing benefits alongside azelaic acid. The Peach Slices serum also feels a lot more hydrating, like a hydrating serum, compared to the Paula's Choice one, and it's also half the price for the same amount of product. Glow Recipes PHA Pore-Tight Toner. I love this one. This is one of my favourite products of all time. So this isn't really a better alternative, but an alternative for those who maybe don't want to pay that much money for a product, those who don't like fragrance in their skincare, but want a gentle exfoliant that you can use on a daily basis if you want to. You don't really need to. That's also a great beginner exfoliant, especially for like teenagers. And in my opinion, the CosRX Blackhead Power Liquid is a perfect alternative. You don't get that hydrating and exfoliating acid, which is PHA in this toner, but there are a lot of humectants and moisturizing ingredients in here to help make up for that. This also contains the same BHA as the Glow Recipe toner, which combines salicylic acid and betaine, so you get this really gentle moisturizing exfoliant. So for example, whilst you may be using say a 4% betaine salicylate, that's roughly similar to 2% salicylic acid as far as how gentle it is. And you'll find this in a lot of K-beauty because of the restrictions that Korea has on salicylic acid in cosmetics. Skincare brands I thought would be shit, but are actually really good. Thayer's kind of gives me flashbacks to when I was a teenager, and the only kind of skincare we had was St. Ives, Clean and Clear, Clearasil, Oxy. I don't know why, I think it was the witch hazel thing and the kind of outdated packaging. Also, a lot of estheticians came online at some point when Thayer's first became popular and started bad-mouthing witch hazel as a standalone ingredient instead of looking at the formulation as a whole. They made it sound like a really drying ingredient and that you should avoid Thayer's, so it kind of just fell off my radar. I actually purchased their original toner for a viral TikTok skincare YouTube video that I filmed, and I absolutely loved it. It was very basic in a good way. The aloe and glycerin made it super hydrating and soothing, and the witch hazel did what you would expect from an astringent. Pores looked more refined, my skin was less red. So then they sent me their milky toner. Again, absolutely love this. It's got like snow mushroom in alongside hyaluronic acid, so again, really nicely hydrating. It will often foam a little bit for me, which is annoying, but for the price, I don't really care. All in all, I've been impressed with this brand so far, and I want to start trying some of their moisturizers next. By Beauty Bay. This is Beauty Bay's own skincare line, obviously, and they first sent me this when the brand was new, before they even launched, and some of their products were completed, some of them that they sent me were just lab samples, and to be honest, I kind of thought the brand looked a bit cheap, which isn't a bad thing. Well, it is a bad thing, because a brand can be cheap, but still look great. The Ordinary does a good job at that, the Inculus, Bioma. A few products had a lot of essential oils in for some reason. I remember thinking it was quite weird at the time, but as I finally started to test their skincare, see what else they had to offer, my skin actually loved this brand, and I love the very visible results that I was getting. One of my current favourites is their Colloidal Oatmeal plus Oat Lipid Rich Moisturiser. Great for irritated skin, dehydrated skin, skin that's prone to breaking out, itchy skin, inflamed skin. There's oat kernel flour in here, which is really soothing, along with panthenol, squalane and glycerin to hydrate. It's one of those moisturisers that when you think, fuck, my skin's fucked, you reach for that one. my skin all the time. I have mild rosacea, so when I wear sunscreen, my rosacea flares up. When I don't wear sunscreen and it's sunny, my rosacea flares up. So I'm hoping that Paula's Choice Barrier Protect Mineral Sunscreen is gonna be a bit of a lifesaver for my skin. It's SPF 30, which is fine, with allantoin and Centella asiatica, so it should be soothing, calming, healing, I hope. So I'm gonna do a bit of a wear test and let you know how my easily sensitized skin gets on. It's mineral, so I am of course expecting some cast to it. Has no smell to it. Oh, and it isn't the castiest cast I've seen. It will of course be a struggle in my facial hair. Mineral sunscreens always are. But as far as mineral sunscreens go, it's very fluidy. And we're going over the eyes to make sure there's nothing left in the eyebrows. I just give it a brush through with a beard brush. I mean, so far so good. Usually within 2 minutes of me applying the sunscreen, I can feel my cheeks start to flare up. But let's see how we get on for the next couple of hours. Okay, excuse the hair, I've been playing with the dogs. Do you know what, I completely forgot I even had this sunscreen on. It's so comfortable on the skin, my eyes aren't stinging whatsoever, and I've been rubbing them all day because allergy season has just started here and I get it pretty bad, so I've been rubbing my eyes. No tears, no nothing, no stinging, my skin feels very comfortable. I have some breakouts on my forehead and they don't even feel bothered, so far so good. I mean, honestly, I think this is going to be one of my new favourite sunscreens. There has been a bit of a turn of unfortunate events. Oh, you can't really see it too bad, but my rosacea is flaring up a fair bit. It's really warm, actually, so not dissimilar to basically every sunscreen. My skin looks okay, but it's really hot, it's really warm, so not too dissimilar to what sunscreens always do to my skin. What I will say is, as far as the sunscreen goes, I really like the finish of this. I really like how it makes my skin look, but I am getting that hot flush to my skin that I get from pretty much every sunscreen. If, like me, you know nothing about makeup and you have very bad makeup skills, but you want to easily be able to cover a few blemishes and maybe redness from your rosacea, then I have the perfect compact cushion for you. This is Romance Bare Water Cushion. This is described as giving you moisturized and transparent skin, which basically means even, glowy and dewy. What I love about this as somebody who doesn't know what they're doing with makeup is it's so easy to apply. I use the puff in the way that my brother Robert taught me how to do it. You just pat away, and what I love about this particular compact is that you can layer it up, you can build on it. So it starts off as very sheer to like light coverage. But really that's enough for me because it just takes away that redness. My skin still looks natural, glowy, dewy and healthy. But we also have sodium hyaluronate in here, ceramides, niacinamide, panthenol, a ton of skincare ingredients that are actually beneficial for your skin. So if you want lightweight coverage that looks hydrated, dewy and moisturized, sits on the skin great without a primer, then this is the product to go for. More viral skincare brands and their best and worst products in my opinion. Tatcha is a brand I don't love, but I do see why people like their products. I especially understand why their water cream is so popular. It is so deeply hydrating, smells nice if that's your thing. Contains an ingredient called Hutinia cordata, I believe it's pronounced, which is incredibly soothing, especially if you have like rosacea, you break out easily. Probably one of their best products. Personally for me, the essence isn't great. It's one of the more expensive essences on the market, but definitely not one of the best. In theory, it sounds nice. It's got all those fermented ingredients you expect to find in a traditional essence, alongside algae and green tea, but it falls a bit flat. It didn't do anything for me, and even worse, it's got a weird smell to it. It smells like somebody licked you, and then you let their saliva dry on your face. Misha, CosRx, Neogen do more affordable and, in my opinion, better essences. Sol de Janeiro is a brand that I understand why people love, but for me personally, I don't find myself using many of their products. Their fragrances are a bit body shop circa 2010, but I get why people like them. I do not have a best product from this brand, but I will say their body creams do the job they have to do and they smell good in the process. I recently, however, had the displeasure of smelling their new sunscreen. Their Radiance body lotion is a mineral sunscreen for the body. Unfortunately, if you have even a smidgen of body hair, it rolls up in that body hair, it doesn't rub in, it's pasty, it's drying, it smells like gone off milk at the beach. Supergoop have an amazing lineup of sunscreens. Some are much better than others, but one of their best and I would say most iconic products is their Unseen sunscreen, purely because everyone can use it. It works great as a sunscreen. A lot of clear sunscreens can be very, very greasy and oily looking. This one isn't, in my opinion, and it doesn't sting my eyes. However, their lip shields, I believe they're called, the lip balms, whilst they sit nicely on the lips, they do taste like sunscreen, which isn't unheard of, right, for a SPF lip balm. However, However, these products in particular, they overwhelmingly taste like sunscreen. Every time you take that small breath to talk, not that everyone's going and then talking, but you know, even when you just open your mouth and any air goes in, you choke on the taste of sunscreen. They're also just quite drying. They're not the best lip balm. Bioma, in general, have amazing products, and honestly it's hard to pick a bad one. Their hydrating, soothing milky toner, however, is by far my favourite product from their lineup, mainly because I've been a fan of milky toners since Laneige launched their Cream Skin Refiner back in 2018. It's a great lightweight answer to those heavier, milkier products, like the Laneige one, like the one by Rhode. This one has super hydrating polyglutamic acid in, and Cica, which kind of goes along with Bioma's kind of like soothing, healing, barrier healing kind of ethos. As I said, it's almost impossible to pick a bad product because all their products are universally good. However, for me, it would have to be their moisturizing gel cream. First of all, it just wasn't moisturizing enough for me. I have combination skin, oily T-zone, dry cheeks, and I just found that it kind of felt like a serum more than a finishing product, more than like a moisturizer. And secondly, it didn't really work with any sunscreen. So when I did use this in the morning, out of the 20 sunscreens that I tested this with, every single sunscreen would pill with this moisturizer. But so many people love this moisturizer, and I completely get why. Skincare brands I will no longer review, or you will never see me review. Anything from Dr. Barbara Sturm. Whilst these products are horrifically overpriced, that's not the issue here. But I do believe if you're going to make something super expensive, it at least needs to feel good on the skin. This brand are a perfect example of a brand that uses somebody's doctor title and fancy sciencey sounding words in order to justify their extortionate prices. Their hyaluronic acid serum is a perfect example of this, especially as hyaluronic acid as an ingredient does not need to be expensive in order for it to work and just do the job it needs to do at any molecular weight, yet this is what they hold on to say why their hyaluronic acid is over £300. A lot of their products are super basic, going beyond just reading an ingredient list, yet with each product they act like they just discovered the secret to like eternal youth. Clinique. Now there's a simple reason and a slightly weird reason as to why I will never review this brand. First of all, simply put, the products I have used from Clinique have been fine, and it's usually not been because I wanted to use them, it was usually just because that's what happened to be in the house at the time when I was younger. And whilst I feel like they were leaders in the industry around the 90s to the early 2000s, it feels like nowadays they're just kind of playing catch up and they don't really know what to do next. With that being said, however, they do seem to launch products with intention rather than just launch after launch after launch in order to get some kind of product to go viral and in order to make a quick bit of money for the brand. Secondly, I grew up with Clinique. I think if in the UK and you're near Boots, Superdrug, Clinique is one of the only skincare brands we kind of had at the time that seemed better than Clearasil, Oxy, Clean and Clear. So I think you kind of grow out of Clinique, even though Clinique was targeted at an older audience. I think when you discover the world of like K-beauty or all these other independent brands that the world has to offer, they feel a bit basic in comparison, I'm not gonna lie. Simple. The name says it all really. Whilst they do have some interesting options like their eye gel, I guess that's interesting. They seem to have not kind of progressed with consumers' current skincare knowledge and needs. They seem to keep their actives to a minimum, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's what makes them good and what makes them simple. I know some people who rely on this brand because they are the only products that they can and want to use because their products are simple. However, for me, any product from theirs that is in a liquid form stings my skin really bad, and I don't know why. My skin personally is past needing simplicity, but I see why some people want and need that. This is easily the most hated skincare product in the skincare community, but you may have been tricked into hating it. St. Ives was in every millennial's skincare routine. And then in 2016, St. Ives were hit with a lawsuit that claimed that St. Ives apricot scrub caused something called micro tears due to the harsh exfoliating particles. However, despite claims to have professional and scientific evidence that St. Ives apricot scrub caused these micro tears, the case was thrown out of court because they couldn't prove that micro tears existed. In fact, the scientific and professional evidence that was used in court and in the lawsuit was actually just quotes from a magazine article, including a quote from a dermatologist who said using St. Ives apricot scrub was like using sandpaper on your skin. What's more baffling is that Basil and Browning, who brought the lawsuit to St. Ives with their lawyer, had no negative experiences with St. Ives whatsoever. In fact, fact, it was just after reading these articles that they decided they should take some legal action, out of fear that they may develop these micro tears. And not only were both Basil and Browning using St. Ives apricot scrub happily with no issue for 10 years, Browning actually only stopped using the apricot scrub because she got some of it in her eye. The bulk of this lawsuit is actually about claims of false advertising, because the packaging says dermatologist tested, but according to these quotes from dermatologists don't recommend this scrub at all. However, the brands don't claim to be dermatologist approved, just tested, and we all know what that means. So that part of the lawsuit was thrown out too. After that, the plaintiffs were told to go away, find some actual evidence of these micro tears, and then maybe they could take a look at the case again. They actually managed to get a dermatologist to run a 2-week trial in order to prove that micro tears were a thing. But the evidence was actually very underwhelming, and all this 2-week trial showed was that the participants who used the St. Ives apricot scrub daily and as directed had an increase in TUL, transepidermal water loss, redness and irritation. The dermatologist who ran this trial actually goes on to say that micro tears is more of like a slang term used in the community to describe disruption to the skin barrier. So essentially a slang term for a damaged skin barrier. And then the rest of the evidence in this trial is those same magazine quotes again. So what this trial proved is that exfoliation can irritate your skin barrier, but we all know that, that's nothing new. Also, what I didn't mention is that participants in this clinical trial were directed to strictly only use St. Ives apricot scrub, no other skincare, no moisturizers, no serums, nothing. So they were cleansing and scrubbing and then just leaving their skin to dry out, so no wonder their skin was dry and irritated. Who doesn't use moisturizer, especially after exfoliant? It's weird. So again, this claim was thrown out of court because they had no evidence that St. Ives apricot scrub caused micro tears or that micro tears existed. All they have proven is that over-exfoliation can damage your skin barrier. However, St. Ives weren't 100% innocent in this. They even themselves had suspicion that their scrub might be a little bit too scrubby. You can go and watch my YouTube video all about this. But all in all, St. Ives apricot scrub is safe to use as long as you don't scrub like we used to do in the 90s, gently and in moderation like any other exfoliant. Listen, it's not my favorite exfoliant, I think it's drying as fuck, but if it works for you, keep using it. More skincare brands I will no longer or never review because it pissed a lot of people off the first time and I'm petty. Kiehl's. Now Kiehl's for me is the skincare brand that myself and a lot of my friends kind of graduated onto after the likes of Clearasil, Oxy, Clean and Clear. You know, we were going into like our later teens and we thought we were really grown up buying Kiehl's. And I never really loved it, I just kind of used it because I thought it was like grown up. But for me, it's the weird kind of like apothecary meets science kind of vibes of not only the brand altogether, but the shops as well. You go in and they're all wearing lab coats for some reason. And please bear in mind that I probably haven't used Kiehl's for about 4 years now, but one thing I remember not really liking about their products is while some of them are iconic for a reason, for me it was those apothecary smells that I just really didn't like. Lavender, rosemary oil, lavender in particular makes me feel a little bit sick, but I do understand why Kiehl's appear in a lot of people's skincare routines. Nivea. Back in 2019, advertising agency FBC announced that they'll be parting ways with Nivea after working together for 100 years. That's because the agency presented an advert concept to Nivea, and the advert just happened to include 2 men holding hands, and Nivea's exact words were, "We don't do gay at Nivea." This was in 2019, so I don't do Nivea. Nivea do, however, do the usual Pride Month thing where they change all their profile pictures to a pride flag and stick a pride flag on their tins. But even if all that didn't happen, whilst their products are generally affordable, nothing appeals to me, like nothing appeals to me. Revolution. Now I have to preface this by saying Revolution is one of many duping, affordable, easily accessible skincare brands for people all around the world. And I totally get that. I personally do not want to support the brand after the ex-CEO of Revolution was caught liking racist Instagram comments. And whilst he did step down from his former position, he still does have a 15.34% stake in the company. And I don't want to give him my money. I don't want to give him my money. Also, Revolution rip off small brands without ever feeling guilty about it. They do a lot of apologizing after the fact as well. La Mer, plain and simple, Doesn't interest me at all. It doesn't interest me at all. I always say I understand the want and need for luxury skincare. I personally don't use a lot of it. I'm not going to badmouth those who do. I get it. People want luxury things. I'm just not bothered. I just don't care. You know. It's you know. I'll be honest that the only time it's ever slightly interested me was when there were rumors that there was some kind of like weird spooky magic going on behind the scenes. I don't know. There's some kind of like cult activity. I don't know. I don't even know if any of that is true. Google it. What I will say though is everybody I meet who does use La Mer quite religiously always look pretty flawless, but it's still not for me. I've been using and reviewing Korean skincare for about 5 years now, and these are some of my favorite products I've ever used. Ilso's Super Melting Sebum Softener is just that. It's like a sebum softener for your nose and other bits on your face where you get a lot of like sebaceous filaments, clogged pores, and this basically softens that sebum and makes it easier to remove. You pour a bit of this into a cotton pad, place that over where you have clogged pores on your face, and then it softens all that sebum, making it easier to extract. Once you lift those pads away, you'll see that a lot of gunk has been brought to the surface, then just gently wipe that away. They do have nose pore strips versions of this, which make it a lot easier to use, a lot more mess-free, but there's a lot of waste when it comes to the packaging. Mamonde's Blue Azaline Cloud Toner is a calming toner that uses Azaline, which they say is twice as effective as Cica. It comes out in a foam, so it's really easy to use. There's no toner dripping down your arms. It turns into a watery toner really, really quickly, and it has a very nice instant cooling and calming effect. Troy Arroquet's H Plus Cocktail, I butchered the name. Amongst the many amazing skincare products that they have to offer, they do these really cool kind of color-coded ampoule toners. So you get one of their ampoules, crack it open, pour it into their toner, which is called their Skin Complex Formula. Give it a shake and then it becomes like an ampoule toner. They have 4 different colors. Blue is targeted to acne-prone and dry skin. Yellow targets hyperpigmentation. Red is anti-aging. And green is for sensitive skin. I have used these on and off for the past 5 years, and all of them are absolutely amazing. The only issue is the price point is very, very high, but they just work so, so well. Cosrx Refresh AHA BHA Vitamin C Booster Serum. I feel like the popularity of their snail line has overshadowed a lot of their other amazing products, including this really gently exfoliating serum. Like most Korean BHAs, they use betaine salicylate along with glycolic acid, and I believe there's sea buckthorn and ascorbyl glucoside as well to help even the skin tone. This is an extremely gentle exfoliating serum that, if your skin is used to actives, can be used daily. These are some of the more interesting skincare products I own. I was recently in a dog first aid course and they were selling hypochlorous acid for animal care, but it's the same stuff you get from Tower 28 and Prequel, but in a huge spray bottle for about half the price. This is Live Labs cotton candy balls. They are cotton balls soaked in a chemical exfoliant with salicylic acid and glycolic acid, perfect for targeting key areas of the face and areas that need that little extra attention, like my nose. They're also just cute. This is Bloom Effect's Black Tulip eye treatment. This is an amazingly lightweight, cooling, gel textured eye treatment that comes with this massage rolling tool. It contains their Black Tulip complex from upcycled petals and is rich in flavonoids, but it's great for hydration, fine lines, firmness and elasticity. It's so nice and cooling. I just put it everywhere on my face really. This is Givenchy's Le Soin Noir Compact SPF 40 PA3+, a chemical sunscreen compact that I truly dislike. It contains black sap, their own thing, I don't know, and algae for brighter skin alongside antioxidant rich red algae. It might be okay for reapplication on a cloudy day, but the amount of time you have to spend rubbing to get a decent amount of product on the face, it's not worth the time or the £108 price tag.
Can gel manicures increase your risk of cancer? I'm Dr. Desai, and the answer is yes. A study recently found that the UV light is of concern.
So this video is a little bit misleading. Doug Schoon, who is a leading expert in all things nails, gel nails and eyelashes, broke this study down for us to kind of show why headlines like this are actually pretty over sensationalized. So when you actually look at the study and the tools they used in the study, there's a few things that just don't make sense. Number one, they used a UV lamp that nobody in the industry uses. Nobody. This was the highest wattage UV lamp available on the market that claims to cure cure 50% faster than any other gel lamp on the market. Nobody's using this gel lamp, no one, I can guarantee that. They then expose their samples to 20 minutes under the lamp at a time, repeating this 3 times, so all in all exposing their samples to 60 minutes of the highest UV exposure from the highest wattage lamp available on the market. Now, when you look at the average lamp used in any kind of salons, whatever, you have 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and sometimes you'll have 120, which is kind of like slow and low. But ultimately, you are going to be exposed to 60 seconds at a time of UV exposure. Now, not only that, but the author of the study actually says in this study, and I quote, "This does not provide direct evidence for an increased cancer risk in humans." Most lamps nowadays are LED or they're UV and LED. Wear sunscreen on your hands, wear UV protection gloves. Whilst it's not impossible to get cancer from a UV lamp, it's very, very, very unlikely. We need to remember that cosmetic products, tools are all assessed for safety, and if you use them properly as directed and don't buy things from like Temu, you are 99.999% of the time going to be absolutely fine and safe. All in all, this does not replicate how UV lamps are used on a daily basis or in your standard nail appointment. This is like saying, in a study, the subject was given 20 times the daily recommended limit of salt, and he got really sick or he died, therefore salt is dangerous. This headline comes around every single year for at least the last 10 years, I don't know. Authority bias is very prevalent here on TikTok, so when you do your own research, make sure you are researching who these authority figures are giving you the advice, and dig a little deeper than a 15-second TikTok video. These are the best and worst products from viral beauty brands, in my opinion. The Inky List is one of those brands that I feel like if you ask different people, everybody has a different favourite product. Their products seem to be very universally liked, and I don't think they have a really shit product. However, their tripeptide plumping lip balm is not for me. It claims to plump the lips by 40% in 4 weeks, without any tingle or irritation, purely down to peptides. However, the marketing is a little bit deceptive here, and it's more likely that you're seeing temporary plumping effects from hyaluronic acid than you are their tripeptide formula. It also has Brassica alba sprout extract, which is actually a very common ingredient that you find in lip plumpers. An ingredient that is purposely supposed to irritate your lips so they look plumper, but they kept that quiet, and whilst you don't get that stinging sensation from this lip product, it kind of tastes like chicken stock. I am in love with their glycolic acid exfoliating stick. Their body stick, this helps smooth texture. It helps with all those like rougher, drier areas like breakouts on your body, and it just really softens the skin with salicylic acid and glycolic acid. This has been amazing, like I said, at relieving that kind of like dry looking skin from like my knees, but most notably smoothing the texture on my arms. Elf do some amazing affordable skincare, but one of the worst products I think I've ever tried was their Super Tone Toner. This was an exfoliating liquid with glycolic acid, oh no, AHAs, can't remember what ones, witch hazel and aloe, but it just smelt so bad. It smelled like teacher breath. It also has lemon peel oil in, which usually I'm fine with, but in this formulation it just seemed to really sting and irritate my skin. I'm guessing everybody else had a very similar experience because this product has now been discontinued, thank God. Their Pure Skin Toner, however, is amazing. It's not an exfoliating toner, but it's a calming, soothing, hydrating, slightly moisturizing toner. Like oat milk, aloe juice, sodium hyaluronate, allantoin, so you get hydrating, soothing, moisturizing properties. Laneige is an iconic K-beauty brand that's now known across the world, and I mentioned that I don't love their lip masks, they kind of fell flat for me, but another product that I really don't like, which is actually their latest release. Their Bouncy and Firm sleeping mask was very kindly gifted to me, however, it's just not what you expect, what you want from a sleeping mask. For a sleeping mask, I want something thicker that's going to lock in all that hydration overnight, you know, prevent transepidermal water loss so I don't wake up with my skin feeling tight and dry. This does feel like a very nice lightweight gel moisturizer with their peptides, hyaluronic acid and green tea. It's going to make a nice daytime moisturizer. Their best product has to be their cream skin toner, but I really like the old formulation when it was first launched in 2018, I think it was, when it was called the Cream Skin Refiner. However, the new one is honestly very nice. Great for drier skin, everyone can really benefit from the peptides and ceramides. Love this in the summer especially because as somebody that can get very, very oily. This product allows you to supply your skin with the moisture it needs and craves without bogging down your skin in layers of product. You can also buy a mist pump to spray this on instead, which honestly I'm going to buy because I hate putting toners in the palm of my hand and then splashing on my face. I've been reviewing K-beauty for 7 years now, and I want to share some of my favourite products of all time. Unov? I don't know how to pronounce this, but their deep damage treatment is incredible. I know very, very little about hair care, just to warn you, but my hair just feels like so soft after using this, and it looks so bouncy, so healthy. I wash and heat style my hair pretty much every single day, but whilst I've been using this consistently for about 2 years now, it's just really preventing my hair from drying out, getting frizzy. They say it contains 31 types of proteins and amino acids, and 5 types of plant-derived oils, which help smooth out your hair and keep it looking sleek. I also have their hair oils, which I don't use that often, to be honest. Neogen Demology Black Energy Cream. This is a bit of an old one now. This is the epitome of a drink for your skin. It's like quenching. It's really super hydrating. It's a very typical like old-fashioned kind of gel moisturizer that feels like you are applying like a full fat water to your skin, with a super impressive list of ingredients which most skincare lovers love and look out for, like rice extract, black sesame extract, hyaluronic acid, ceramides, centella asiatica, polis, lotus extract, aloe, green tea. This is a moisturizer that you can see fast improvements with continuous use, and you also get this instant dewy look to your skin while some moisturizer works to give you that look in the long run. Mediheal Tea Tree Calming Moisture Ampoule. Everyone loves their toner pads, but they also do amazing skincare and ampoules. And I know a lot of people either love or hate tea tree. I personally love it for breakouts, for my rosacea, for calming my skin. And that's exactly what this ampoule is supposed to do, calm and hydrate the skin. It calms breakouts as well, and it claims to have a super fast calming effect. It says on their website it calms your skin in just 30 seconds. And whilst I can't say that I experienced that, within a week of consistent use, my redness, my irritation, my itchiness was a lot calmer. Ampoule N's Ceramide Shot Ampoule is probably one of the first dedicated ceramide products I ever used back in the day. This is honestly a really nice niacinamide serum with the added benefit of ceramides. Other than that, there's not a lot to it, but in a good way. What I love about this product is when I first bought this, we didn't have these kind of like lighter weight hydrating serum options for ceramides. We just had those thick plasticky smelling ceramide creams. So this really was one of the lighter weight options I could use to help heal my skin barrier. I completely destroyed my skin after using Glossier's chemical exfoliant. My skin just didn't agree with it whatsoever, and this Ampoule N serum completely healed up my skin. And you could also get a 100ml bottle of this for £20, which I think is a bargain. I think that's so cheap. Another month has flown by, so let's review some of my hits and shits for the month. Starting with the hits, this is Dr. Idris's Soft Wash. This is one of the only cleansers that is genuinely so good at both steps of the double cleanse. It doesn't foam, but it really gently washes away sunscreen, layers of sunscreen, makeup, and it has a cleansing agent in it that is actually found in contact lens solutions, so you can actually use it on your eyes without it stinging and burning your eyes. Another hit is Beekman's 1802 Bloom Cream. This has goat milk and niacinamide in. It's a daily moisturizer that's really, really good for your skin barrier, with essential fatty acids, amino acids. It's calming, hydrating, moisturizing. I've been using this non-stop for about a month now and I absolutely love it. My rosacea and easily irritated skin has been very calm. Moving on to the shits. If you want to think your life is ending, like your whole life is flashing before your eyes, then use Biore's The Cleanse. This is a cleansing oil, makeup remover, that says you can safely use it around the eye area. However, when I did use this around the eye area as instructed, a little bit got into one of my eyes and it burnt so bad, to the point where I thought my eye was actually dissolving. Like, I thought I was having like a layer of my eye stripped away. It was agony, pure agony. The next shit is this Givenchy SPF cushion compact thing. This is just so much work to get an appropriate amount of product onto the sponge thing, onto your face to have a good enough layer of SPF for your reapplication. You have to go in, tap it in again, tap it in again. You just find yourself using this for about 10 minutes just to get a decent-ish cover. Essentially, it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of money, so not for me, Givenchy. Dr. Althea Pure Grinding Cleansing Balm went viral a while back now. The obvious reason it went viral is because of its almost pencil sharpener type packaging. You twist the top and it dispenses a thin layer of cleansing balm and then you just wipe it off and use. It has a minimal ingredient list, which isn't necessarily a good or a bad thing, and focuses mainly on soothing and healing ingredients like Centella asiatica, madecassoside, and nice oils like grapeseed oil to break down sunscreen and makeup, and it does a really good job at that. It's a pretty standard cleansing balm, to be honest, and nothing special or new when it comes to formulation, but the reason this went viral is what makes this product so good. As a consumer, I'm a huge fan of great packaging that makes our products easier to use and enhancing our experience. Having the product dispensed in this way, I feel like it stops me overusing the product. So whilst product-wise it's pretty basic, I'll 100% repurchase this purely for how convenient the product is to use. Ranking Milky Toners from worst to best, in my opinion. Number 10 has to be Thea's Milky Toner. This has everything going for it. It should be a really, really good toner. It's very hydrating, it's in a beautiful texture, it has snow mushroom in and hyaluronic acid, so it's got these great humectants in, and whilst it is very nicely hydrating, no matter what I use this product with, no matter how I use it, the product just foams up on my face every single time, which, given the price point, I can look past. But when you have facial hair, it's very annoying to have to massage a toner, a liquid, into your face. Next up is Rhodes Glazing Milk. This is a milky toner that I absolutely wanted to love. However, it is more on the thicker side of milky toners. So as somebody with a very oily T-zone, I just found this maybe a bit too on the moisturizing side than hydrating side. It also broke me out a fair bit, but compared to other milky toners, it hasn't got that much more going for it. Other than the calming and barrier repairing properties that all the milky toners have though, objectively though, I think it's nice and I see why people enjoy this. Number 8 is Beauty of Joseon's Glow Replenish Rice Milk. This can't be any higher because I've only been using it for like a week, but I do find this to be an interesting formulation. So they call this a double layered toner. You have one layer that is like moisturizing and then the second layer which is kind of based around this powder, which I believe is kaolin, which is a clay that you find in clay masks. The moisturizing layer obviously moisturizes, it's lightweight, it's very watery and gives a non-greasy finish. I would say not even a dewy finish, whilst the kaolin, the powdery bit in here, helps absorb excess oils, excess sebum. So overall, the toner has not a matte finish, but it's not that dewy, hydrated, moisturizing feeling that a lot of us love milky toners for. Number 7 is Good Light's Moon Glow Milky Toner. This is one of the more hydrating milky toners I've ever used, incredibly lightweight, with a very gentle exfoliating twist with their AHAs, gentle enough to use every day. And we have the usual ingredients like niacinamide, ceramides, we're gonna keep seeing these in milky toners. We also have meadow foam seed oil, which is great for barrier repair, and snow mushroom, which is a great hyaluronic acid alternative. My only issue with this product is the lavender scent. Personal preference, I do not like lavender scents, but the glow it gives your skin, the deep hydration it gives your skin, I can look past all that because it just looks and feels so good. Perito Oat In Silky Toner is a milky toner that I feel is so overlooked and underappreciated. Purito's opt-in range in general is amazing if you have damaged, irritated skin that needs calming and healing. In this particular toner, we have beta-glucan for moisturizing and healing, but it also has that meadow foam seed oil that we saw in the Good Light one. But that oil is not a heavy, greasy oil. It's really lightweight, so you're left feeling moisturized and hydrated without it feeling too heavy, which is great for people with more oily skin. Number 5 is I'm from Rice Toner. I had to go through my archives for this one. I used to love this. I used this toner non-stop for about 2 years. My skin was well balanced, no excessive sebum production. I had a much more even skin tone, probably just down to the fact that the niacinamide in here was being consistently used by me on a daily basis. But I also love the brightening properties of this toner and how smooth it makes your skin look and feel. Number 4 is Bioma's Milky Toner. This is a perfect budget-friendly, hydrating milky toner that is honestly much better than a lot of its more expensive competitors. It contains polyglutamic acid, which in my opinion is a much more superior humectant to hyaluronic acid in the sense that it just feels more hydrating. And then of course we have the ceramides that Bioma is famous for. Number 3 is Tear's Light Milky Toner. This is the light version of their Milky Toner, obviously. It's very watery, so it's perfect for people with more oily skin, but those who still want that kind of benefit that you get from the Milky Toner of the slight moisturization and the ceramides, but maybe more for people with dehydrated skin. Still contains ceramides and niacinamide, of course, but we also have centella, we have copper tripeptides that I feel make this milky toner so good and sets it apart from all the others, but I do prefer their thicker version. The Tear Milk Skin Toner is my second favorite. This one is their award-winning toner, and it takes me back to when K-Beauty Milky Toners were in their prime. It hydrates as you expect from a toner. It's got all those ingredients you expect from a milky toner, ceramides, oat kernel extract, and niacinamide, but we also have beta-glucan, copper tripeptides. This can act like your toner serum step all in one, especially as the weather gets warmer and you want to layer up your skincare less. This gives you such a nice, hydrating treatment stage that's slightly moisturizing that you can then just go straight in with a sunscreen. My number 1 favorite milky toner of all time has to be Laneige's Cream Skin Refiner. Whilst it wasn't the first ever milky toner, it was the milky toner that started people's love for this kind of toner. It's been reformulated since then with more of a focus on ingredients like ceramides and peptides. It's not too thick, it's not too light, definitely more on the moisturizing side, but it also gives you that deep hydration. If you have drier skin, it's perfect. If you have dehydrated skin, it's great. If you have oily skin, it's great without being too heavy. It just seems to be great for everyone and everything and every occasion. It's also an icon. I will talk about this whenever this comes up because I used to be one of those people who were strictly essence and then toner, 2 completely different products, and they used to be so different, with essences having a focus on like fermented ingredients primarily and anti-aging, focusing on fine lines, evening out skin tone. Toners used to be about hydration, and that was it really. Nowadays, you get toners with all types of actives in, that do more than just hydrate. Essences have now also just turned into toners, and serums are the same. So you get some toners that could be like a really thick serum, and you get some serums that are the lightweightness of a toner and just hydrate like a toner would have done. It's like a toner in a pipette bottle. So much so that a lot of categories, especially in South Korea as well, they just group this together as a category, like a treatment stage. Especially in the case of Rhode, there is nothing in this product that makes it particularly an essence versus a toner. There is no ingredient that makes you think, oh, this is an essence. It's literally just a toner, which I don't love. Like I miss the days when essences were just SK2, you know, like the fermented one, Misha, you know, they all look the same and they were all duping each other. But nowadays, the words are just used interchangeably. I saw a cosmetic chemist, can't remember who it was, speaking about when they make essences, toners, and even serums, the only difference is the name that the brand wants to give the product. I've been reviewing skincare for 7 years now, and these are the products I will repurchase over and over and over. Skin rocks the gentle acid. I usually have issues with AHA, especially when it comes to my rosacea. It just seems to be bothered by AHAs. However, this is a really gentle yet super effective chemical exfoliant. This is mandelic and lactic acid alongside some natural gentle AHAs to refine texture, even skin tone, and then PHA as well, which does help gently exfoliate, but also helps keep the skin hydrated. Team that with panthenol and you've got a really soothing, gentle chemical exfoliant. Dr. Idris's Soft Wash has to be one of my favorite cleansers of all time, alongside Prequel's Cleanser. I like practical products, classic products with modern updates, and this is the perfect example of that. Good example of how the most boring step of your skincare routine can become like your favorite. This cleanser uses a very gentle cleansing agent that is found in contact lens solution, so you can actually very gently rub this over your eyes, clear away makeup and sunscreen without any irritation. I've tried it. One of the only non-foaming cleansers that I think does a genuine really good job at both steps of the double cleanse. Going back to my rosacea, sunscreen has always been an issue. I found a lot of chemical sunscreens that I can use without irritation, but that is after years and years of trial and error. However, my skin loves mineral sunscreens. I personally do not love the super matte finish that mineral sunscreens often leave, but that's why I love it. Prequel's Sun Barrier Mineral Sunscreen. It has a really nice pinky hue that leaves your skin looking naturally glowy and dewy without looking greasy. I'm now convinced that my lips need a hydration stage before I put on any lip balms or night masks, and doing this pre-lip balm stage, I've had no dry, cracked or irritated lips during the winter we just had. So my favorite pre-balm mask product, Good Light's A Taste of Space Lip Milk. Collagen in here so you get really nice moisturized lips, glycerin and panthenol so you get that really nice hydration. Just a nice hydrating step before all of that. It's like putting on a toner before you moisturize, you know? You can feel that extra dose of hydration. And of course, Glow Recipes Watermelon Glow PHA BHA Pore Tight Toner. I can't remember when I didn't use this. I've been using this for as long as I can remember. For those who have easily sensitized skin and you want a gentler alternative to those high percentage BHAs that can actually care for your pores, blackheads, breakouts, skin texture, this is a great gentler option. It uses betaine salicylate instead of salicylic acid, a super gentle version of BHA, and PHA is like a gentler version of AHA. And a lot of people talk like this is scented like really artificially strong watermelon, what I call like American watermelon, but it's not at all. In fact, this doesn't really smell like watermelon at all because there is no artificial fragrance to achieve that watermelon smell. The smell is actually mostly prickly pear in here, which is that soothing and hydrating step. It's that almost like cucumbery smell, and that's what I feel a lot of people are smelling and thinking it's like strongly scented. But once you put it on your skin, the smell goes. My vanity is long overdue a tidy and declutter, and Etoile very kindly gifted me their skincare shelf. I was so excited for this. It took me about 3 minutes to put together, and the quality is so good. I spent so much money on cheaper alternatives from places like Amazon, and they break, they wobble, they cannot handle my products. So I took this opportunity to declutter and weed out products that I haven't opened or wasn't enjoying. Then started filling my skincare shelf with products I know I love and products that I eventually want to try. My toners and essences are a little too tall for the very bottom shelf, but this stand is so sturdy. I have no issue putting my more delicate glass bottles at the top of the tower, serums in the middle, and moisturizers, eye creams, and lip balms at the very bottom. And thanks to Etoile, my vanity and filming area is now nice and clear. I can see all of my products, the products I want to use, and I could do my skincare without clutter. If you haven't used a lip toner or milk before, then you are missing out. These are products that are going to hydrate, smooth out, and plump your lips, whilst taking care of dry and cracked, irritated lips. Alternative Stereo's Lip Potion Steaming Milk. Like all lip treatments, this one is extremely hydrating. That milky toner for the lips. For me, a lot of lip balms lack that hydration and they just feel more like an occlusive layer. So this lip primer was made to help soothe and repair the lips, as well as prep your lips for makeup. Using lipids to help soften the lips and glycerin and hyaluronic acid to help hydrate, you end up with lips that look like you've just steamed them. They're like a little bit plump, a little bit red, a little bit watery, all like plump and flushed. Junico's Lip Milk they describe as a milk bath for your lips. This one's a little bit thicker and I feel like can be used as a lip mask alone, but if it's those super plump lips you're after, without the tingling sensation of a lip plumper, this one is perfect. This has sorbitol and glucose as its humectants, and you really do see a difference in like those fine lines on your lips. They just plump pop out. Good Light, A Taste of Space is one of my favourite lip treatments of all time. They describe it as a toner for your lips. It's very milky but lightweight and watery. It tastes like raspberry, which is nice. We have panthenol to help heal the lips, and then collagen to help moisturise and give you that plumpness. But if you don't want to use any of these, or you can't get your hands on any of these, just use any toner you've got. Not a liquid exfoliant. My favourite thing to do is get like a healing toner, whose job it really is just to heal and hydrate. Soak a cotton pad, and then just lay it on the lips. Like this for a good like 5 minutes or so, and then go over with whatever lip product you want to use. If it's just a lip balm, you can leave your lips a little bit wet still. Obviously, if it's makeup, you might want to dry it. I don't know much about makeup. So give these lip treatments a go. They're like toners for your lips. New skincare purchases and how I feel about them. Let's start with a kind of controversial one. This is VT's Riedel Shot. This is the 100, often referred to as micro needling in a bottle. It uses marine sponge spicules to kind of like puncture the skin and help other ingredients penetrate the skin better. That's the idea. A few people have raised concerns that maybe these spicules will get stuck in the skin. However, the brand have said themselves that the spicules don't go that deep down in the skin, and they fall out of your skin as your skin naturally sheds. I personally love this. 100 is one of the lower levels of the Riedel Shot, but as far as skin texture, redness and pore size, I've noticed a difference mainly on my forehead. Everything just seems a lot smoother, and it doesn't only help high percentage actives penetrate the skin. I often use this in conjunction with calming and soothing ingredients, especially ingredients to help calm redness on my skin. Manio Panthenol Essence Toner, I talk about this to death. This is my second bottle. I now have the sheet mask, the cream, the balm, there's something else, I can't remember. But this is now my go-to line for calming my irritated skin, for helping with redness, healing a damaged skin barrier, strengthening my skin barrier. This in conjunction with the cream is amazing for my skin when I've been using a lot of actives, or maybe I've been out in the sun a lot and I just want my skin to be calmer. Kind of like give my skin a break, I will use this line altogether. Beauty Crop's Avocado Foaming Cleanser. I love the Beauty Crop. They have such an amazing lineup of skincare products at such a reasonable price. I believe only available in the UK at the moment. So I was excited when they launched this avocado foaming cleanser because I love the avocado cleansing balm. I saw glycerin and avocado oil in this and thought I'd be getting a really creamy cleansing experience that's non-stripping. Almost like a cleansing milk, but unfortunately, this is not good. This is one of the most stripping and drying cleansers I've used in a long time. It takes me back to my teenage years when cleansing was all about getting every single little thing off your face. I had to overly compensate with hydration and moisture after using this for a solid week to give it a chance, but it's just not very good. Maybe if you have very, very oily skin, this might be for you, but it's just not. Nah, I thought it was gonna be really nice, it's not. Then I Met You Bong Bounce Cream. Then I Met You only has good skincare products. I don't think I've used a product of theirs I really don't like, but this is a barrier cream with a bit of a difference. I don't know about you, but when I think of barrier repair creams, I think of heavy, thick, pharmaceutical feeling thick creams, right? But this is a lightweight gel moisturizer that just leaves your skin feeling so hydrated, yet really, really nourished and cared for. This has ceramides, omega fatty acids, and we have squalane in here as well, of course, for barrier support. But then we have an ingredient called halabong extract, which I've never heard of in my life. Apparently this is a citrus fruit that helps minimize the appearance of enlarged pores and helps to overall brighten your complexion as well. So if you're after a skin repairing cream that's not heavy and sticky and thick, this is one to go for.